numeric type. And in numeric type, we discuss integer type, okay? And also we discuss about the long data type in Python 2. So we've seen that Python 2 has an integer type, which says that if you say x is equal to 10, when I ask, tell me the type of x, it tells you that it belongs to the type called integer. And second point, we discussed that it takes range, and the range of integer is minus 2 power 32 minus 1 to 2 power 32 minus 1. So the minimum value we get is minus 2147483648, and the maximum value what we got is 2147483647. So we've seen that if we take this maximum up to this value, and I ask them tell me the type of that variable, it tells you that I belongs to an integer. And when I add 1 to that particular value, okay, good morning, Snehal, good morning, Nitin. So if we add 1 to that value, then what happens? It automatically converted to the long data type. Okay, whenever you cross this value, it's not give you an error like in Java and C that you're crossing, or it will never go to the negative side. But what happens is automatically it converts into a long data type actually. Okay, automatically it converts into the long data type. And if you wish to declare any value as a long, then you can explicitly add a suffix called L, small or capital L, so that way it will be treated as a long data type. And the range for this will be like no limit. You can take any big value. That's the beauty of Python long data type in that it has no limit actually. Then we also discuss about the integer type in Python 3. We've seen that it has a keyword change called class instead of type. It will tell you it belongs to a class type. It doesn't mean that Python 3 have classes and Python 2 has a primitive type. No, okay. They also have classes like integer, long. They're all classes in Python 2 as well. Only they change the keyword from type to class because it is more appropriate. That's the only thing they change. And we also seen that as we have range in for integer in Python 2, but Python 3 integer is same like a long type because it will not have a limit actually. There is no limit, there is no size concept because it is object oriented style of data type. Python do not have primitive data type. I was keep telling this from the beginning that Python do not have primitive types like int, float, character and all. They don't have primitive type actually. So that way, range will have no range and no limit, no size, nothing. Okay, you don't have to worry about the range of the type, the size of the data type. It is all grows and shrinks dynamically. Okay. Then we started discussing about the representation of integer type. We've seen that the default one is decimal, meaning that if you take any value between 0 to 9, will always be taken as a decimal value. Will always be taken as a decimal value. Then we also talked about the binary type, okay, where we have this uh, numbers between 0 to 1. Okay, the numbers between 0 to 1 is generally called as binary. So you cannot take the numbers other than 0 1 in binary. But taking 0 1 or 1 0 does not make binary. You have to prefix with either 0 b or 0 capital B. If you prefix with 0 small b or 0 capital B, then only the number will be treated as a binary number. Otherwise, it will be by default always treated as a decimal number. By default always will be treated as a decimal number. It will only be treated as a binary number if you prefix with 0 small b or 0 capital B. 0 small b or 0 capital B, then only it will be prefixed with that. So we've seen yesterday that we've seen few examples. Let me go with Python IDLE, and we have seen few examples here that we've seen that when I say 0b, okay, when I ask 0b, sorry, it's OB, I need to type 0b, and when I say 01, then you've seen that it got the answer as 1. It got the answer as 1 because let me explain you a little bit of binary, then we'll get little clarity about it. We know that how we convert from binary to decimal and decimal to binary. We generally follow this approach. Yeah, that's what, right? And perfect. So we'll follow this approach, and for example, okay, for example, we take this form like 2 power 0. Oh, it got different. So we got 2 power 0, right? 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, 2 power 4, and it goes on, right? It depends on the limit, like say 2 power 31 or something. Okay, now it is 2 power 0 is nothing but 1. Okay, we all know that anything power 0 will give you 1 actually. 2 power 1 is 2, 2 power 2 is 4, 2 power 3 is 8, 2 power 3 is 8, and 2 power uh, 4 is 16, right? So this is a 8421 code and all. So this is how your data will be represented. And this will be like, for example, as I'm asking you, like 0B01, then obviously 01 means 2 power 0 into 1 and 2 power 1 into 0. So this 2 power 0 into 1 will give you 1 and 2 power 0 will give you 0. It is 0 plus 1 will actually give you 1. 0 plus 1 will actually give you 1 here now. So we got 1 as an answer. Now we also seen that if I ask them something like, okay, if I get back here and ask a question, like I press enter and you see that it's printing 1. If I ask 0B11, then it will make you 3 actually. It will make you 3. How it is making you 3 in 0B11? Basically what happens that here when I say 0B11, okay, 0B11, then it's actually giving you, it's already in binary, Udit. It's already in binary, so it will give you 0B11. It's nothing but 2 power 0 and 2 power 1. So this will give you 1 plus 1. Okay, sorry, 2 plus 1, because 2 power 1 is 2. So 2 plus 1 will actually give you 3. So that way we are getting 3 for an answer now. Okay, similarly, you take any binary, it will tell you the decimal equivalent for that binary. It will tell you decimal equivalent for that binary. For example, if I take 0B1010, can you tell me what is the decimal equivalent for this binary? 0B1010. What is decimal equivalent for this binary? Very good. Okay, Vamshi, Ubul, everyone says that it is 10. Perfectly fine. It will be 10 because 2 power 0 into 0, 2 power 1 into 1, 2 power 2 into 0, 2 power 3 into 1. So 8 plus 2 will give you 10. 8 plus 10 will give you 10. We also seen that if you take 1, 2, then obviously you will get an error because you cannot have values other than 1 and 0. In binary, whenever you prefix with 0b, then you cannot have the values other than 0 here now. So it will be 1 0, 0 and 1 should be taken. Any other value taken here will get an error. So that way it got an error. 0b12 will get an error. So this is how this is what we discuss about the binary data. Let us discuss about the octal values here now. Okay, the octal values are nothing but which are the numbers between 0 to 7 are generally called as an octal number. If you take any number with between 0 to 7 is called an octal number. Now, can you guess what is it prefixed with? Can you guess what is it prefixed with? Okay, okay. Okay, so here it's that's what we seen last time that when I run, did you remember when I run this 01, it was perfectly valid in Python 2. Did you remember that? But same thing when I did in Python 3. This is in Python 2, it's valid. When I did in Python 3, then we seen that it got an error actually. It got an error. The solution is here actually. The solution is in Python 2, this 01 will be treated as an octal number. In Python 2 and in C language, okay, and in C++, if you take any number preceding with 0, that will be taken as an octal by default. That will be taken as an octal by default. But in Python 3, it should be prefixed with 0O. Okay, Ubul and Abhishek and Udit are 100% correct. It should be prefixed with 0 small o or 0 capital O to tell that it's a octal number actually. To tell that it's an octal number, either you should be prefixed with 0 small o or 0 capital O to tell that it's an octal number. Now, if I just get back to my Python shell and ask the same question, that 0 O and okay 10, 0 O 10. Can you tell me what is decimal equivalent for that? Yeah, I'm confused in binary. 0 is, sorry, 0 is 2 or 1 is 2? I didn't get you, Shikawat. Will you please elaborate? Meanwhile, people will answer about octal. Definitely, I will give little more insight about binary, okay, to make it clear. Then let me check with this now. 0 0 0 0 10. It's in octal, guys. Octal means base 8. Binary means base 12. Okay. So let me tell you, like the way we have done with binary, similar way you have to look for the octal now. The way you represent the octal number here will be like, sorry, 8, it's something like this. I have taken 0 0 10, then it will be 8 power 0 and 8 power 1. Right, 8 power 0 into 0 will be 0 and 8 power 1 will be 1. So 8 plus 0 will give you 8. Correct, guys? Did you got it now? That how we are getting 8? That it is like the way we converted into binary, the way same way we are converting into octal to decimal. And this is how we convert from octal to decimal. Okay, this is fundamental things we learn. Similar way. Shikawat, what do you want me to explain here? If you can tell me, I will explain in the binary as well now. Yeah, 0b113, that's like 2 power. Yeah, I will tell you what is this actually. Okay, when you take 0b11, 0b11, you know that this is 2 power 0, this is 2 power 1, right? So 2 power 0 means actually 1. Okay, 2 power 1 means 2. So 2 into 1, multiply this, whatever the value we got here, you multiply with this value now. 2 into 1 will give you 2 and 1 into 1 will give you 1. So 2 plus 1 will give you 3. So 1 1 we got 3 actually. If I take another example, 0b111, then it is 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2. So 2 power 0 is 1, 2 power 1 is 2 and 2 power 2 is 4. So it is 4 into 1 plus 2 into 1 plus 1. So 4 plus 2 plus 1 will give you 7. Shikawat, you got it now? Like how we are getting 0b11 as 3 and 0b111 as 7. How I decide which one gives 2 power 1 and 2 power 0? That is already fixed. Like 2 power 0 is anything power 0 is always 1. Okay, anything power 0 is always 1. And 2 power 1 is nothing but 2, because anything power 1 is the same number. And 2 into 2, it's something like 2 into 2 gives you 4. Similarly, if you take 2 into 3, it's nothing but 2 into 2 into 2, which is 8. These are the basic rules, Shikawat, that anything power 0 will be 1 always. And anything power 1 will be the same number. Got the point? Yeah, let me check. But still, if you have any confusion, I think you will get clearer, because in the next examples, we're going to talk about binary. All the way examples, many examples we'll do today, so that you will get some clarity. Yeah, thank you, Udit. Yeah, thank you, Shikawat. But you will get some more clarity, guys. If anybody having any question, always can ask me. Okay, there is always your right. You can ask me to explain any number of time. Okay, I can explain, no problem. Okay, but I think a few examples will help you all the way. If anybody is still having any confusion regarding binary or octal, they will definitely help you. Sir, in Python 01, if we write, it's not octal. Why bit is not even decimal? Because it is actually octal representation, and decimal cannot start with 0 SK. Decimal cannot start with 0. Okay, understood? So that's why it's neither octal nor decimal, and it's end up with an error. Okay, good. So that's way. Now you see when I say 0010, the output will be 8 now. The output will be 8. Now can anybody answer what is 0011? What is 0011? 0011. Very good. 9. Agree, Shikawat? It will be 9 now. Same like is in binary. Okay, 8 power 0 into 1 and 8 power 1 into 1. So 8 plus 1 will give you 9. 8 plus 1 will give you 9 now. 8 plus 1 will give you 9. Now when I say 0 0 1 7, Shikawat, will you like to answer this? 0017. 0017. Okay, 15. Very good. 8 plus 7 actually, right? 8 power 0 into 7 and 8 power 1 into 8. So 8 plus 7. Yeah, perfect. 8 plus 7 will give you 15 now. 8 plus 7 will give you 15. Now 0018. 0018. Anybody? 0018. Perfect, perfect. Okay, it will be an error, not 16. It will be an error because 8 is not an octal number. I told you the range for an octal number will be only 0 to 7. Yeah, perfect. The range for an octal number will be 0 to 7. Okay, so we generally in a flow and we'll say that okay, as we added 1 plus 8 plus 7 we got 15, so now 8 plus 8 will get 16. No, okay, but as we are crossing the limit now, it will be a syntax error, so it cannot cross the range actually. Okay, so it will be not an octal number anymore, because whenever you prefix with 0 it will not be an octal number. I hope it's clear with binary and octal now. Yeah, I will show how it comes 17 with that number. So basically, as you can see here, okay, as you can see here, that we are using 0 O, okay, 0 O 17 in octal, 17 in octal. So it is 8 power 0 and 8 power 1. So we know 8 power 0 is 1, 8 power 1 is 8. So 8 into 1 will give you 8 and 1 into 7 will give you 7. So 8 plus 7 will give you 15. 8 plus 7 will give you 15. Got it, everyone? That always anything power 0 will be 1. Whether it is 2 power 0, 8 power 0, 16 power 0, anything will be power 0 will be 1, and anything power 1 will be the same number. So we just need to multiply with the given number here. We just need to multiply with a given number. Yes, every octal number to convert into decimal number will be solved like this only. Every octal number given into decimal, sorry, if you want to cut into decimal, you will solve like this. If it is reverse, like you wanted to solve a decimal to octal, then you will divide them. Like I wanted to solve this 15 into, this is 15 is a decimal, now I want to find an octal number. I will divide this number. 8 into 1 will give you 8 and the remainder is 7. The remainder is 7. Okay, so here we got how many numbers? 7 actually. And now what we got is we got actually 8 now, right? So then sorry, 8 into 1 will give you 8, so it will be 1 7 actually. In octal it will be 1 7. So that is how we divide from decimal to octal. This is how we convert. Okay, this is how we convert 8 into 1 and then 7. So this will be 1 7 actually. Directly we can take from that. So 1 7 is an octal number. So there was a couple of questions. Yeah, definitely. Sometimes it will be needed, not much, but it will be needed to know how binary and all, especially for competitive programming guys. Like I was teaching placements thing. We will try to solve a couple of problems in placement. So you will come to know that how can we solve that thing in using a binary actually. Okay, so shall we, so when I check 011 in 2.x version giving 9, y value is 9, perfect. It's even in 3.x the value is 9 only. Okay, even in when I say 0011, can you tell me what is 0011? Ubul? 9, right? Same thing in Python 2, we represent as 011. Both are same actually. This is in Python 3, this is in Python 2. This is an octal number. That's why I told you in Python 2, and whenever you prefix with 0, even in Python 2 and C, if you prefix with 0, that will be an octal number. That will be an octal number always. Okay, so that's why you're getting 9, because both are equal actually. Both are equal. Even when I ask 017, you will see that that will give you 15. So in Python 2, you prefix the number with 0. Okay, you prefix the number with 0. Is that clear, everyone? How to find octal of 16? Okay, so if you wanted to have a decimal called 16, then you will find the octal like this. You'll divide with 8. 8 into 2 gives you 16. 8 into 2 gives you 16 and remainder is 0. Okay, so 0020 is 16 actually. Got the point, Abhishek? 0020 will be 16. Okay, so let us check now. Let us check here. When I say 0020 will actually give you 16. Yeah, Roshan, we were talking about yesterday's thing that we discussed about octal. Now we were discussing about, sorry, binary. We're discussing about the octal. Okay, I told that binary is used to represent with 01 and it prefix with 0b or 0 capital B, and octal represented as 07 and it prefix with 0 o small or 0 capital. These are the representation of your integer values. These are the representation of an integer values. Okay, yeah, I will explain you. We will solve an example, Udit. You will come to know what is the use case of the real-time scenario, but the number format is very important to be known. Okay, the number format is very important to be known. Okay, I will explain you one example. After explaining decimal, we will solve one example. You will come to know that why it is so important. Okay, why it is so important to know this particular format, especially binary, octal, and hexadecimal. It's very, very important. I have two examples to show you actually that how can we use this. What I will do is, one I will solve it now and another one I will give you as an homework so that we can solve tomorrow, so that we can see the real use case of uh, the binary, octal, and hexadecimal. They are very useful, guys, especially anybody going to have some campus recruitment kind of thing. Then this knowledge plays a very critical role, because you can solve the problem using this particular approach very easily. Okay, so let me go for hexadecimal now. Let me talk about hexadecimal here now. So basically, the rules for hexadecimal is that values can be 0 to 9. The values can be 0 to 9 and okay, and A to F. The values can be 0 to 9 and A to F, because we know that in this generally in numbers I can represent up to 9 only. I cannot represent 10, 11 and all. There is no direct values for 10, 11 and 12. So that's why they decided that A will be represented as 10, B will be represented as 11, C will be represented as 12, D will be represented as 13, 14 and F will be represented as 15. F will be represented as 15. And can you guess what is hexadecimal values will be prefixed with? Very good. Very good, Udit. It will be prefixed with 0 small x or 0 capital X. It will be prefixed with 0 small x and 0 capital X. This is how it will be prefixed with now. So we got 0 to 9, A to F, and 0x and 0 capital X. Is that clear, guys, for hexadecimal? At least the representation of hexadecimal. Okay, let us see some examples to make it more clear. Let us see some examples to make it more clear. I'll start with my Python ideally. Now if I ask them, tell me what is 0x10? Anybody? 0x10. Yeah, perfect, perfect. It will be 16. It will be 16. 16 power 0 into 0 and 16 power 1 into 1. Same like as you did in binary and octal, guys. Okay, base 16 actually you did. It is called base 16, which is called hexadecimal value. Okay, so binary is base 2 and octal is base 8 and hexadecimal is base 16. Hexadecimal is base 16. So 0x10 will give you actually 16 as a number. So when I press enter, you got 16 now. And obviously when I ask you 0111, it will be 17. Agree? If I ask you what is 0x11, it will be 17. It will be 16 plus 1. It will be 16 plus 1 will give you 17 actually. So that way 0x11 will give you 17 here now. And when I ask 0x17 or 18 or 19 is also possible. Can you tell me what is 0x19? 0x19. It will be 16 plus 9. It will be 16 plus 9 will give you 25. Perfect. Will give you 25. So this is how we convert from octal to we give octal, it tells you decimal. What is 0xa? 0xa? 0xa, 10. Very good, because we know that a value is 10. 0xe? 0xe? 14. Very good. It will be 14 because 0xf is 15. Last value is 15. It is from 0 to 15 actually. It is from 0 to 15, but you cannot represent 10 and all, right? You cannot write 0x10. That cannot represent as 10. That will be like 16 only. Okay, now it will be 15. Perfect. Now it will be 15 because 0f will give you 15 now. And 0fg, 0fg, sorry, 0xg, 0xg, 0xg. Of course. No, no, you cannot write, yeah, 0 to 9 you can write it, then A to F you can write it. Perfect. It will be an error because there is no value called G here now. Now, can you tell me, is it a valid hexadecimal number? 0x space. Do you think, is it a valid hexadecimal number? Sure? Yes, because all of them are perfect range. So this will be perfectly an hexadecimal number and this is the decimal equivalent. This is the decimal equivalent because it's a valid hexadecimal number now. Do you think 0x ASDF, is it a valid hexadecimal number? No, because S is not in the range, so you'll get a syntax error now. Okay, so this is how what we learn for the how we represent binary numbers in Python, how we represent the octal numbers in Python, and how we represent the hexadecimal number in Python. Okay, this is what we learn. Now let us talk few more things about it, then we'll go and talk about some real-time applications of this particular thing and how it can be useful in real time. But remember, this representation is very important because we all know that your addresses will be in the hexadecimal, guys. Generally, if you ask any address to be printed, if you ask any address to be printed, generally the address will be in hexadecimal. Generally, the address will be in the hexadecimal actually. Okay, let me show you. Let me show you that how the addresses will be printed now. Let me show you how addresses will be printed. Now, for example, I will create some function, okay, or I will create some class or something. So I will define some function now. Okay, nothing inside that function, I will write it. I'll just simply say pass. Now, if you wanted to know the address of this function, you wanted to know the address of the function, when you use id function, actually it converts into decimal and gives you, but generally addresses will be in hexadecimal. If we just print fun, you see that it's printing you something called 0x 0000237B1C26 2D. Can you see this? And can you tell me in which form it is actually? By looking at the number, can you tell me in which form? In hexadecimal. How can you say that it's in hexadecimal actually? How can you say this in hexadecimal? Because it starts with 0x, and also you have these valid hexadecimal numbers. You see, from 0 to 9, and you have C, D, B, and all, which is a valid hexadecimal number. Yeah, that's what. Lot of places, guys. Every thing you get error codes in hexadecimal only. Your computer system works in hexadecimal because if it represents, generally it represents in binary, right? If I represent this in binary, you get a very big error. Sorry, very big number. So that's why they represent in hexadecimal number. And error codes will be in hexadecimal number only. Udit. That's true. You get the error code in hexadecimal number. Whenever you get some error in the Windows, you will get that, okay, you got this error code. And that's why you have to convert into decimal or somewhere, and you have to find out in the binary, and you have to find out that what is the problem with that and all. So that's why these numbers are actually used in real time. That's what I wanted to show you. That's why having a knowledge is very, very important. How binary represents, how octal represents, and how hexadecimal represents. It's very important. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, so that's what, and I'll give you some more examples where it will be very useful to know this format, because otherwise you cannot solve those problems at all. If you don't know the format of this, we cannot solve this particular thing. Okay, so this is all about this octal, hexadecimal, and binary, and decimal. Okay, now if you wanted to convert, like Python also provides you some functions to convert into one another. Like we do have functions like bin, which can convert any form to binary form. Okay, we have OCT function, which converts into octal, and we have HEX function, which converts into hexadecimal. So we do have this yeah, I will help you out, Satyam. Okay, you can do that way, but it's very easy. It's very easy. If you can go through with the running notes and all, I think you will get mostly. But we will help you how to do that way. But bin, oct, and hexadecimal are the functions. Okay, we have which can convert into any form now. Now, if I go to Python IDLE, okay, now let's do some exercise so that it will be like revision for all of us. It will be like revision for all of us actually. Okay, it will be like revision for all of us. Now if you see here, that if I ask you what is the binary of 10, anybody, what is binary equivalent for this? What is this 10 here? What is 10? Binary equivalent for 10. Okay, it's decimal 10. Very good, Vamshi. Very good, Rajshekar. It is decimal 10. Okay, you know what is a binary equivalent for decimal 10? Yeah, very good. It's decimal 10, so it cannot be 2, right? Because it's in binary. So it will be 1010 and prefix with 0b. Do you agree? Prefix with 0b. So what you are doing is you are going reverse now. Previously we took binary and we got a decimal value. Now we are doing reverse. We are asking this bin function. Now I have a decimal, please tell me a binary. I have a decimal, please tell me a binary. Now when I run this code, it will be 0b1010. Understood, everyone? That whatever we learn, it's proving it now. I told you 1010 is 10. 1010 is 10. And now my binary function is telling 1010 is 10 now. Okay, if I give the value in octal now, if I give the value in octal now, like for example, octal, you know that it starts with 0, and I'll give 10. I'll give 10 again. Now tell me, what will be the binary equivalent? What will be the binary equivalent for this number? I've given bin 10 and 0010. Okay, perfect, perfect. It's 1000. It is 8, right? You need to convert into decimal first. So it is 8, and once you got 8, and you know that this is how you represent 8 in binary. 1000. This is how you represent 8 in binary. Now when I say 0b, 0xa, 0xa, 0xa. Very good. It's 1010 because A is 10, right? A is 10 and 10 equivalent, binary equivalent for 10 is 1010. Binary equivalent for 10 is 1010. So that way you will get 10 here now. Okay, so that's why I'm getting 1010 because that is a binary equivalent. Now when I ask 0xf, 0xf, yeah, that's true. Ubul is very fast, right? That's what we want. Like now it's exercise. So everybody has to answer quickly because whatever you learn, it's an exercise now. Because now you understood the binary representation, octal representation, and the hexadecimal representation. Very good. It's F means 15. And how we represent 15 in binary? 1111. How we represent F in binary? 1111. Okay, for such kind of things, we need to have a book and paper generally so that we can generally evaluate and we can tell them. Yeah, it's 0B1111 will give you things. So you understood how to convert decimal to binary, octal to binary, and hexadecimal to binary. Okay, thank you, Udit, for confirming. Let me check with all of you that you all understood now. Now you give them any number. You see how easy in Python that in many languages you write the own logic for converting into binary. Now you see in Python, it's very easy that you can check any binary equivalent for any number. You can check that I have a number called 456. I want to know what is a binary equivalent. It will tell you directly. What is a binary equivalent for this number? Sometimes it needed actually, guys. Okay, you wanted to know what is a binary equivalent for this number actually. Okay, you wanted to know what is a binary equivalent for this number. Okay, so perfect. We'll do one example so that you get an idea, but let me also talk about the octal now. So octal, let me talk about octal here, that what is octal for this number. Can you tell me what is an octal equivalent for this decimal 10? What is octal equivalent for this decimal 10? Oh, sorry, octal, guys. Rajshekhar, octal, so it will not prefix with 0x. Very good. It is 0012, right? 0012. Because 8 power 0 into 2 and 8 power 1 into 1. So 8 plus 2 actually. So 8 plus 2 will give you an octal number. So this is perfectly fine. 0012 will give you an octal number. Okay, 0012 will give you an octal number here. So it's perfectly fine. We got an octal number. Okay, so similarly, when I say please tell me the octal of 0b, I wanted to check with a binary now. 0b, okay, 1111. Can you tell me? 0b1111. I have given the binary number and I want to know the octal number of it. Octal, Abhishek, octal. Octal number. Octal will start with 0 only. Very good, very good. We did this. I'm just doing the same thing. I'm doing the same thing what we did before so that you can just check it out. We checked how we represent 15, right? This is 15. And how we represent 15 in octal? This is how we represent 15 in octal. Okay, this is how we represent 15 in octal. Now we say 0 OCT of 0x f1. Sorry, what I can say, 10. Perfect. 0x10. 0x10. Anybody? What is octal equivalent of 0x10? Not by executing, guys. You have to do some paperwork because it will be a nice exercise to understand how to convert binary to octal, octal to binary and all. Very good, Abhishek. It will be 0020. It is 16, right? And we know how to represent 16 in octal. We already seen that. We already seen how to represent 16 in octal. We have all the way here. Okay, that's what one of you have asked me, like how you represent 16 in octal. So with that, it's 20, right? So that way the answer will be 20 here now. The answer will be 20 here. So when I press enter, it will be 20, because 2 into 8 will give you 16, and plus 0 into 0 will give you 0. So 16 plus 0 will be 0. So this is how you represent in octal. So we learn how to convert decimal to binary, octal to binary, and hexadecimal to binary. And we also learn how to convert decimal to octal, binary to octal, and hexadecimal to octal. Now let us convert from binary to hexadecimal. Now what is this? Hexadecimal of 10. Hexadecimal of 10. Very good. It's 0x8. Perfect, right? It's 0x. We know that 10 will be represented as x, right? When I ask them hexadecimal of 0b1111. Hexadecimal of 0b1111. F. Very good. F, because 15 will be represented as an F now. 15 will be represented as an F. So that's perfectly fine. Okay. We given in decimal, it perfectly works. We given in binary, it perfectly works. Now let us give in octal and check that value. So when I say 0x, okay, in octal, I wanted to give 0020. 0020 in octal. 0020. Anybody? What is the hexadecimal equivalent? Very good, Ukul. Very good. It is 0x10. We've seen already, right? You see here, 0x10 is nothing but 0020. So I'm asking reverse. Now we get the answer as 0x10. So I think I'm sure that little bit revision is required, because these are the topics where we need to do some paperwork and we need to see more examples. And we only get 100% confident when we solve the things. Okay, you got an idea, I am sure. But to be frank, everyone need little bit practice, because it will be little useful in real time. So having this knowledge in every programming language. I'm not only talking about Python, especially here. This knowledge is required for any programming language, guys. Whether you're dealing with C, whether you're dealing with Java, whether you're dealing with C++ or Python or JavaScript, whatever, this knowledge is basic knowledge. This is a fundamental knowledge. Unfortunately, they don't have this function. Python makes the life easy dealing with these number formats actually. But this knowledge is a general knowledge. Don't worry, like only it's needed for Python, not for anything else. It's not like that. You need this thing for everywhere. Okay, shall we go for one small exercise now? It actually, everything is same in Python to SK, except that the octal representation. There is no difference in Python 2 and Python 3 for the representation of this. They work exactly same. Only in octal it prefixed with 0, and in Python 3 it prefixed with 0 O. That's the only difference. So we don't require any cheat sheet for that to represent, because it's not much difference. All the things you will find similar. Got my point? Okay, let us do one small exercise now. Let us do one small exercise on understanding this particular thing now, so that you can understand what is the use of this particular thing. Let me go for an example. Let me go for an example here. The example is you have to write a program to find power of 2. To check whether the number is power of 2 or not. Okay, check number is power of 2. Okay, you have to check the number is power of 2. Example, when I enter the value called 8, is it power of 2? Is it power of 2? Yes, I should print yes now. I should print yes. Another example, if I enter 9, is it power of 2? No. Okay, no. How can you do that, guys? How can you do this? Can you tell me how can you do this? How can you do this particular thing? Checking number is power of 2 or not. It should be first of all multiples of 2, right? That's true. Converting decimal to binary, okay. So how it will help, Abhishek, if we convert decimal into binary? Okay, we need to keep dividing by 2, that's true. We need to keep dividing by 2. Once we get like keep dividing by 2, and finally when we come out and if the value is 1, we can check that it's a the thing. Okay, like the basic general approach. Let me show you the general approach first of all. The general approach will be like this. Okay, I will define one function. I'll show you both the way so that we can solve this problem. Let us solve the problem in both the way. Okay, let us solve the problem in first way where I'm writing this logic. So I will open my script now. Okay, called demo, and here we have this value. So we'll say x is equal to int of input. X is equal to int of input now. Okay, now I'll check that what I will do now is I will define one function. Okay, or else I will write the logic directly here itself. Okay, I'll write the logic here. I'll say that if x is equal to 0, if the x is 0 directly, I will print no. I will print no. It's not the hexadecimal value. It's not the hexadecimal value. Else I'll take a while loop now. In the else part, I will take a while loop. And what I will do is I will try to divide this number if it is even number. Okay, if it is even number, like x modulus 2 is equal to 0. If it is an even number, actually the parenthesis is not required. If x is an even number, until x modulus 2 is giving you that thing, so I will say that okay, x is equal to x divided by 2, x divided by 2. And if okay, if x is equal to 1, when x is equal to 1, then I will print yes and comes out. I will print yes, okay, and comes out directly. So to come out, we have a very interesting statement called break to come out of it. So this is a logic, guys. This is a logic. I'll explain you how it will work. Now if I give 9, imagine if I give 9 now, so x value is 9, is it equal to 0? No. Okay, it will go in else part and there is a while loop now. It will divide 9 with 2. Do we get the remainder as 1? Do we get the remainder as 1? No, directly comes out. If it is an odd number, directly it will come out. It will not go inside. It will not go inside actually. But if it is an 8 now, if it is an 8, so if I get this 8 and you see that 8 is divided by 2, yes, remainder is 0. It will say x is equal to x by 2. 8 by 2 will become 4. Again it will loop. Again it will loop. Okay, because x is not 1, again it will loop now. And after looping, it will say that otherwise I need to come out of it. And here I have to check actually. What I need to do is I should not say break. I should say f is equal to 1 and I should say f is equal to 0 here. You need to trace it out this program, guys. Now I can check. I don't have to print yes actually. I will simply say f is equal to 1. Now I will check here. If x is equal to 1, I will say print yes. Print yes. Okay, print yes. Otherwise, else print no. Print no. So this is a program, guys. This is a program. I hope you can able to follow up what am I doing. So I wrote a very big logic for this simple question called checking whether the number is power of 2 or not. Just to check whether 8 is a power of 2 or not, I wrote a very big logic. Let me close this. I wrote a very big logic here saying that how it will be possible. Now let me trace it out for 8 first of all. You know that 8 is 0? No. It will simply go here. Else part, 8 is divided by 2. Yes, remainder is 0. Next time x will be 4. It will go up again. X will be divided by 4 is divided by 2. Yes. And then 4 divided by 2 will get you 10. We'll give you 10. Anyhow, I will explain that break and continue, Aditi. No problem. I will explain the break and continue, but at least not required here now. But separately, I will take a session so that I can explain you break and continue. Okay, yes, that's an important question. We will do that someday. So x is equal to x divided by 2 now. We will get this value as 2 now. 2 divided by 2, yes. So it will go and remainder will be 0. So finally, we'll get the x value as 1. So when x value becomes 1, flag will be set to 1. And if the flag is 1, if the flag is 1, I will print yes. Otherwise, I will print no. Otherwise, I will print no. So I will run this code now. Let's check whether it is working for all the number. I will ask for 8. It says yes. It's 2 power. And when I ask about 9, it says no. It's not a thing. So it's working. Let me check with other input. You want to give any, you want to check any number now? Tell me any number you want to check whether it is power of 2 or not. Tell me any number you want to check whether it is power of 2 or not. 24? 9 we already checked. No, not in binary. Okay, I hope it's not binary, right? Okay, tell me any 2 power of 2 number. Any number which is power of 2. Okay, 16. Okay, 1024. Perfect. We'll go for 1024. Is it 1024 is the power of 2? 1024 is the power of 2? Yes, it's power of 2. Tell me any number which is not the power of 2. Any big number. 53. Okay, I'll go with 53. So 53 is not a power of 2. It's working? Is it working now? Perfect, perfect. Okay, now I will show you the importance of knowing about the binary. You know what? How many lines of code I have written for this? How many lines of code I have written for this? Yeah, almost. Yeah, even odd logic will work definitely. But the thing is, I have written a very big code, and thank you for counting the number of lines. If I tell you, I can write this code in one line. Do you agree? I can write this code in one line actually. How? How can I write this code in one line? How can I write this code in one line actually? No. For loop is also will not help you. No conditional operator. Now your knowledge will help you now. Your knowledge will help you. Let us do some tracing so that your knowledge will help you now that how we do that. Okay, so I will close this now. Okay, I'll go for Python ideally and I'll show you how your knowledge will help you. Whatever you learn about especially binary operators will help you. Now I will ask you a few questions. You please tell me. You please tell me. I will say binary equivalent of 8. What is binary equivalent of 8? What is binary equivalent of 8? Okay, 1010. Perfect. This is binary equivalent of 8. Binary equivalent of 9. Binary equivalent of 9. No, why error? It's perfect, no problem. It will be 1010. Okay, binary equivalent of 16. Binary equivalent of 16. Little homework again. Little homework again. Binary equivalent of 16. Perfect. You can execute this time and tell me. 0B1000. Okay. And then binary equivalent of 32. Binary equivalent of 32. Okay, perfect. And binary equivalent of 29. Some value, we will get some value. Binary equivalent of 29 and binary equivalent of 64. Binary equivalent of 64. Very good, very good, very good, Kudal. Now the thing is, did you notice one thing that whichever power of 2, whichever the number of power of 2 is getting only 1 1. What you got from this? That's what Kudal wanted to tell. Now the logic is we will check the number of ones. The only thing is we will check the number of ones. You see, whichever power of 2 is getting only 1 1. You see, 8 is a power of 2, 16 is a power of 2, 32 is a power of 2, 64 is a power of 2, 128 is a power of 2. So they will get only 1 1. They'll get only 1 1. Now binary of 1024 will also get 1 1 only. You see, all these numbers are getting only 1 1. So if I check if the number, if the binary value is getting only 1 1, okay, whatever, zeros are getting suffixed or whatever, but if it is getting 1 1 actually, then it's a power of 2 actually for me. It's a power of 2. How I will do that? I require few things now. So this is general approach we have seen. We have solved that problem in general approach. We've seen how big it is now. Let us solve with bit manipulation. Let us solve with bit manipulation. So that's why you go through with the concept called bit manipulation. They will tell you guys what is this bit manipulation. It is very important. Now here, you know about AND operator, right? AND operator, we know that 1 and 1 will give you 1, 1 and 0 will give you 0, and 0 and 1 will give you 0, and 0 and 0 will give you 1. You know this operator, AND operator, and the truth table for AND, sorry, this will give you 0. You know that? So I will use this operator and write in one line, guys. Using this operator, that's all. I use this operator and write the code in one line. Let us see an example now. Let us see an example. You know, I wanted to find, suppose x is equal to 4. I wanted to find whether it is power of 2 or not. So what is a binary equivalent of 4? What is binary equivalent of 4? It is 1 0 0, 1 0 0. And I'll find x minus 1. What is x minus 1? What is x minus 1? 3. And what is binary equivalent of 3? 0 1 1. Very good. 0 1 1. Now I will perform AND on that now. I will perform AND operation. What is 0 and 1? 0 and 1. 0. 0 and 1. 0. And 1 and 0. 0. So if this we are getting 0, then it is a power of 2 actually. If I perform x and x minus 1, it will give you 0. If you're getting 0, it means there is only 1 1. Okay, there is only 1 1 actually. Suppose let's take x is equal to 6 now. X is equal to 6. The way we represent 6, okay, is something like this. The way we represent 6 is something like this. Okay, let me just scroll up. So the way you represent 6 is, how you represent 6 in binary? 110. Do you agree? 110 in 3 digits. Okay, I'll take 3 digits. What is x minus 1 will be? How you represent 5 now? 101. 101 as 5. Okay, so that way 0 and 1 will give you 0. 1 and 0 will give you 0, and this is 1. Is it getting 0 value here? Are we getting 0 value? No. So it's telling there is one difference. So AND will tell you the difference between these numbers actually. AND will tell you this is not 0. So that's why this is not thing. So now I will go back and convert that program. See, you may all not be able to follow, but take this code, guys. Take a screenshot and please remember, because it will be important. It can be like questions can be asked like this. Okay, so you need to reduce the number of code. Now I will write the same code in just one line or two lines of code. Okay, what I will do is I'll say if x and, okay, x and x minus 1, if it is true, I will print no. I will print no here, because if the number is getting other than 0, else I will print yes. That's all. That's all, guys. That's my logic. Don't you think it's easy now? Don't you think it's easy? I'm just saying, if x and x minus 1, if it is getting non-zero, then you print no. If it is getting 0, you print yes. That's all. Trace it out. I'm leaving it to you to tracing. If I run this code now, I ask any number as 8, it's printing me yes. I run the code again. I'll ask the number as 128, it will still tell me yes. I'll ask the number as 512, it still tell me yes. Okay, when I ask the number as 6 or anything what we seen, it will tell me no. No, it will not actually divide by 0. I'm just performing AND operation to the previous number. to check whether it is containing only one zero or not. Got this program? No, Satyam, it's not like that. And means performing and operation, Shikawat. I told you the truth table for and. 1 and 1 will give you 1, 1 and 0 will give you 0, 0 and 1 will give you 0, and 0 and 0 will give you 0. Udit, you got the application now where it can be useful. So if you don't have this binary knowledge, then it is difficult. Yeah, you can also write that way, Aditi. That's perfect. You can comparison. I didn't did it. Actually, if you say 0, then you print yes. I can do that way also. I took directly because, yeah, still it will work definitely. I took directly because it will return the number unnecessary Y comparison. See, basically for time complexity and all, you need to reduce the number of instructions actually. Okay, then only you will not get this time limit exceeded error. I hope in most of the competitive programs, you have seen we get an error called time limit exceeded. So that error generally we get because we write the big code and complexity and also this gives the order of 1 as a time complexity. Got the point, everyone? So we concluded why it is so important to know about the different format of integer value. So you see in 2 sections we covered only integer data type because sometimes this knowledge plays a critical role and that's why I have added this knowledge. Will it be useful, guys? See, we covered only integer. We still have to cover float, complex, boolean and other data types. That's why I told you this is one of the major topic actually. Okay. And I hope whatever I have given, this is additional knowledge, no doubt, but it will be useful. It's a common knowledge. It's not only for Python. This is for common knowledge. So especially today's session is dedicated to some extra knowledge. Okay. Actually, it's supposed to be on some weekend, but it's okay. We did it on flow. So we try to give you. So please explore a little bit more so that you get confident in this particular topic and it can be useful in your lifetime actually. Okay, so this is all for today, guys. We'll see you tomorrow with next data types. We're done with integer now. We'll discuss float, complex, and we'll start the new data type. Actually, tomorrow, half an hour or 15 minutes, we'll discuss about the other things. Okay, Aditi, definitely. Can we solve those on weekends, Aditi? Like Saturday? Generally, Saturday will give some time on problem solving. Because generally I do have some less classes on Saturday. Otherwise, I have continuous classes every week, so so I can spend some time on Saturday. Yeah, Udit, I have to, but you like I was like facing little problem. I was like continuous classes. Like after this class, I have another class. After taking breakfast, I have to join for a class. Then after that class, I have another class till 6 o'clock. Then I take dinner and then the good class. And I thought of sending you at night and I go to sleep. That is what the problem happening. But I will definitely it's take me time, but I have to collect all the material. That's what I have to do that. So I put all the things in one place and I will send you definitely. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. We'll take a leave now. We'll see you tomorrow with the next concepts.